Welcome to AmItheA. Sorry, I forgot to film an intro. So, I thought, I'm not working as of right now. I'm bored out of might as well do something that'll fill up at least some of my time. I mean, I start my new job in like literally less than a week, so I guess I just thought of this at a stupid time, but it's fine. Oh, I wanted to say, I wanted to start this YouTube channel because, well, like I said earlier, I'm bored. And I just like to make videos. I think it's funny. I love the commentary videos. They're one of my favorites. I've been watching them for a long time. So I thought, why not? My doing. Let me show off. Oh, my Mio energy. Alrighty. So I have made it to the subreddit. Okay, first thing I'm gonna do, I'm just gonna start scrolling and then we're gonna see what one I land on. Closing my eyes. Oh my god. Okay, found the perfect one. Am I the for not putting away my copy of The Handmaid's Tale? My 20-year-old uncle and cousin, 14-year-old, are currently staying with us since their house is going through some repairs. Cousin sleeps in my room. Mom told me to put certain books away since they are inappropriate, so I put them in a small locked drawer. I did not put The Handmaid's Tale and some of my other dystopian novels there though. Barely any space left, so I had to pick which ones to lock up. The way I figured it, she probably wouldn't be interested in them, and the book in question, full of my distracting, barely legible, I can't read apparently, to anyone else annotations. I studied for A-level English. Okay, smarty pants. When I was 16 through 17 and my handwriting was atrocious back then. But she did end up getting interested in it. I came home one day to find out that she had been reading it and my uncle had found out and was telling her she is too young. Then he turned to me and betrayed me, saying it was careless to leave something she's too young for out on the shelf. Okay, so in my opinion, she is not. I have only watched Alright, I'm tired of waiting for the AC to turn off, so I'm just gonna carry on, alright? Anyways, so I'm thinking, obviously she is not, because when it's a book, just because it's a book doesn't mean that anybody's gonna grasp any type of whatever from it. Like I said, just a piece of literature, like she said, just a piece of literature. It's not that big of a deal. The Handmaid's Tale, kind of. Sorry. I just saw my cat and the neighbors. Anyways, she is not. So, with that being said, let's look and see what others are saying. Alright. Okay, first one, not. Your uncle is exactly why she should read it. And she's 14, oh my god. I think, yeah, I was reading books like that when I was in that grade. Probably even younger, honestly. That's like, that makes sense that you would read that in school. I don't, whatever. Oh, this one says it's kind of ironic. A man getting mad about a young girl reading a book about men oppressing women. LOL. Literally though. Everybody agrees. Not. Let's see what else we have here. Alrighty, I'm gonna do it again. I'm gonna close my eyes and we'll just pick one. Ooh, this one's 23 hours ago. Alrighty, this one is WildBear7952. And this is what they have to say. Am I the for not being responsible for my sister's kids? Okay, just by that title, I want to say I've had to babysit a lot of kids in my life. Literally too many to count. This is the reason why I do not want to have any children or procreate. Also, look at the economy now. No. With that being said, I already feel like she's not that, but we'll see what she has to say. Thank you, AC. Perfect comment. I'm gonna buckle in. The other day, my sister came to visit my dad and bought everyone some food to celebrate Father's Day. For context, my sister has 3 children, a 10-year-old, a 4-year-old, and a 3-year-old. My 4-year-old niece has a myriad of behavioral problems, and she doesn't listen to authority at all. So for some context, my dad asked me to clean the house and cook some dinner for him. My dad isn't able to easily move around and do these things himself, so I happily did it for him since I am a broke, freshly 21-year-old college student, me besides the college. The best I could have done as a gift. Okay, that is valid. Point is, I spent the entire day cleaning without any help and being productive. So I was pretty winded and I didn't want to deal with my 4-year-old niece that day. Okay, that's fair, that's fair. Once my sister and her kids get to the house, my 4-year-old niece immediately starts terrorizing the stuff inside of the house, as well as my pets. Sorry about that. As well as my pets. We have a pit bull, okay, and a kitten at home. All right. The child threw a soda bottle at her sister and hurt her lip. It kept being rough with the animals, kept throwing things, hitting, biting, and the list goes on. Okay, already awful. 4-year-olds should know not to hit, bite, or punch any children, animals, anything like that. Biting is crazy though. And that's the thing, they think pit bulls get a bad rep. Well, she's beating on the pit bull. Look, this is my pit bull right now. Watch. Mila. Literally calm as a freaking cucumber. I don't understand what the bad rep is with the dogs. It's usually instances like this that happen with it, so. And it's a kitten. Why would any 4-year-old want to beat up on a kitten? Anyways, not being distracted anymore. So before my sister left, I kept trying to bring this behavior to her attention, but all she did was sit on her phone and say she was tired, completely ignoring the child and her actions. Then, while she was leaving, she said she was irritated with me because, in her opinion, it was annoying to hear me B-word about child's behavior. I texted her later to apologize just in case she felt like she was under pressure or anything. But I also explained to her that it isn't my responsibility to watch her kids and that I'm tired of having to play parent. Fair. That's annoying. I know how that is. She retaliated by saying she and the children were keeping their distance from me and that she was canceling the 4th of July celebration she was going to throw for the family. So now the rest of the family and her kids have to suffer and be isolated from each other because she's angry at her lack of parenting. Okay, yeah, that's a little bit of an overreach. Jesus Christ. In her words, since I'm her aunt, I need to deal with her child, and that I don't see her kids that much anyway, since I'm usually away at college for a lot of my year, so I have to deal with it. She also explained that I was acting as though the child had been there for weeks when they were only there for 2 hours. Okay, well, those 2 hours sound pretty rough for everybody involved, especially the animals. During our argument, she stated that I shouldn't text her and that my apology wasn't genuine. She also said that she did so much for me, implied that I wasn't grateful because I didn't want to deal with her child. I didn't know many genuine people who would like to do something for you and then hold it over your head once you place a boundary they don't like. My sister dumps her children on people constantly, and especially on me, and so she thinks that gives her the excuse to step back and not intervene when her children are doing something wrong. She even likes to joke by saying they're my kids, when it simply isn't true. No. That last line, though. Saying that they're her kids, that's some dirty work there. That's dirty. Wow. Okay, so basically from my understanding here, she is not the a-hole because, one, it's not her kids. Two, it's her home. Seems to me, what is it, the sister is dropping off the kids there, and she's there not disciplining the kids apparently. So it's like these people are being abused, these little animals are being abused, and they're only there for 2 hours. Like, no, she should not have to deal with any of this. So let's see what everybody else says. Okay. Ooh, this is a good one. Being family doesn't mean being a free babysitter, especially for a kid who's acting like a tornado with fists. You set a boundary. She didn't like it, so she threw a tantrum. Wonder where her kid learned it. Especially the fact that she said no to that 4th of July party just because of the one argument you refused to watch your kid. That is petty. That's petty. Look. She's letting her kid act up in other people's homes and at a pit bull. She's going to be in a rude awakening one day when that kid gets seriously hurt, but of course that won't be her fault either, I'm sure. Like I said earlier with the pit bull thing. Ooh, this one says she feels like she shouldn't have any apologized at all, and she's one of those people who visits their misery on others, literally. Yeah, yikes. That seems very, very annoying. So sorry you have to deal with that. And actually, who wants a 4th of July party with them anyways? With her and her crazy kids. They're probably gonna terrorize everybody. I would rather be at a different one, so everybody else just go throw your own, because that's crazy. Alrighty. We're back with another one. And I'm closing my eyes. Excuse the snoring in the background, it's mud out. What's an ad? Okay, 16 days ago, this was posted by Cutie Patoot 27. Am I the hole for sneaking out and causing my sister to lose her job? Okay, let's see what they have to say. My sister is 33 female and I'm 14 female. She had a baby 3 months ago. Okay, awesome. March baby, alrighty. I just got out of school for the summer and really wanted to rest. Fair. But my sister decided she wants to finally get a job. Now she's making me babysit my niece. I have 0 experience with babies and I get overstimulated easy. It's been really hard for me. Okay. I asked her if she could put the baby in daycare or something, but she refused. I decided to just suck it up, but it's been exhausting. I have insomnia and it's hard to sleep when I feel like I need to be awake 24/7 to watch this baby. I am constantly scared something might happen if I fall asleep. I told my mom how I had felt, but she said I just have to deal with it. Both my parents work, so I'm left alone with the baby for hours almost every day. A few days ago, I got tired of everything. The night before my sister got ready for work, I snuck out and went to my friend's house so I wouldn't have to deal with it and could finally get some sleep. Okay. When I came home that morning after, I saw all the missed calls and messages, and my mom and sister were really mad at me. They said I was being selfish and lazy. My sister even quit her job because I told her I'd leave again if she kept making me babysit. Okay, I would too. Because what? How are you mom when you're 14 and this lady who lives with your parents who's 33 years old is making you babysit your niece? No. Did it say she was paying her? Don't think so. Let's continue. I definitely feel bad after it feels like my whole family is barely talking to me except for my dad, and even he said I shouldn't have done that. She says, also, I love my niece. This isn't hate to her. She's adorbs. Of course, exactly. Like, always babies in this situation are not the problem. They never asked to be here. Honestly, quite frankly, I wish I could go back. Anyway, a little edit for more info. I see my dad being brought up a bit, but he works in different places with steelwork, so he's rarely home, but we do call often. My niece's father doesn't want anything to do with her or my sister. It's been that way since she was pregnant. Anyway, so she left him and moved back in with us. Okay, that's understandable why. Sorry. She had a job before, but quit to take care of the baby when she was newborn, and up until now, of course. Also, her and my mom work at the same place, so they're both night shift jobs, and they're tired when they come home from working, so I usually have to watch my niece a bit longer so they can rest when they get home, since they expect me to sleep while I'm babysitting, but I just can't because I'm so paranoid anything could happen. Fair. Even when I'm feeding the baby and she coughs even a little, or if she's sleeping too hard, I panic. And honestly, I don't even know daycare wasn't free until I read these comments. I thought maybe it was like public school, sorry. Okay, but still, like, for real, she's 14. She's not supposed to know the world. I didn't know anything when I was 14. So, I finished that story, basically. I am thinking that she is not the one in the wrong here. So, basically she's 14. Like I said, her sister's 33. Gosh, Lacey again! Anyways, these people are old enough to know how the world works. They are old enough to have a plan put in place for all these children. This 14-year-old, mind you, is a child. Just because they have two working hands and understand how most of things go down does not mean that they should be able to be doing whatever they want with this. Like, no. You don't get to pick and choose what your child does. And dude, oh my god, 14? Like, that's like first, second year of high school, bruh. That's not easy. That is not easy. I understand. I understand why she wants to rest, bro. I hated school. School is literally the worst place ever. So, in my opinion, no. She's not in the wrong here. So, let's jump in to the comments and see what they say. Ooh, let's read the first one. It has 3 of those little diamond things. I don't know what that means, but let's be good. You are NTA. You did what you did out of desperation. Sit down with your mom and dad and say calmly, sister's 33. She chose to have a child, and that means it is her responsibility to figure out childcare instead of trying to steal my childhood from me. You are being irresponsible parents by allowing her to abuse me in this way. I will not be babysitting again, and if I'm left alone with the child again, I will call the police and report child abandonment. This person says absolutely. Sucks that a child has to be on their own advocate, but that's a perfect response all the way around. Exactly, that's what should be done, and hopefully that is what's gotten done, because that was over 2 weeks ago, so good luck. All right, I have time for one more, so let's close my eyes. You know, I'm not really feeling this one, so I'm gonna use my free chance. By the way, if you didn't know, I'm making the rule now. I can have one free chance, and I'm cashing it Am I even scrolling? Yes. This is a good one. Am I the blank for constantly telling my boyfriend his feet stink? No. I only tell him when it's so bad I can smell it from across the room. Sometimes he'll shower and won't wash his feet correctly, and when we're laying on the couch, I can still catch whiffs of it. That just happened tonight, and he stormed off, washed them really quick, and stormed out of the apartment. Everything else feels fine in a relationship. It's just been a constant struggle to have to continually tell him to wash them. So angry. The last clip didn't record. Anyways, let me finish. I even bought him an antibacterial soap and told him to start using antifungal. I also had him wash all of his shoes, but his feet still seem to stink. I don't know if I should just be okay with it at this point, but my concern is I let it become normal and our apartment starts to smell like it constantly. I especially don't want to be that couple with the apartment that smells like feet. Should I send him to a doctor? Is there anyone who's ever experienced this before? Well, I personally have never experienced a stench that bad. That sounds awful if you're smelling it from all the way across the room. I'd be scared. Kind of smells disgusting. I feel really bad for both of your nostrils. I'm sure none of you have nostril hair anymore. But let's see what everybody else says. Oh, this person says, exactly, it's all about respect, not criticism. They only bring it up when it is really bad stench, and they've even tried to help with soap and cleaning shoes. They just want both of them to feel comfortable at home. Fair, fair. Lots of people are saying to throw out the shoes and socks, start fresh. Yes, that would be great. Yeah, everybody's saying that she's not. He should really be trying a little bit harder or probably get it checked out because this seems like a very bad issue. Okay, so I said I was only gonna do one more, but I want one where somebody is the bad guy. What the heck? I need a bad guy here, okay? So we're gonna find a bad guy. I found one, where they are. Okay, so this one was posted 10 days ago, and it was by Loser is Anna. Yikes. Alrighty, it says, am I the blank for secretly selling alcohol at my dry wedding to cover costs? So I, 27 female, recently got married. My husband, 29 male, and I planned a pretty big wedding. About 300 guests. Wow, that's too many. It was beautiful, honestly a dream. There's just one thing. Our families are super conservative and very religious. So we told everyone it would be a dry wedding, aka no alcohol. Alrighty. That decision kept the peace with our parents and extended family. As we all know, weddings are expensive, very, especially when you have 300. And we were footing most of the bill ourselves. I saw an opportunity and took it. I hired a licensed bartender friend of mine to set up a VIP bar hidden at the venue. It was at a large event hall with a garden and private side rooms. I gave a heads up to about 75 of our younger friends and more chill cousins and basically had them pay for drinks. Think wedding speakeasy. The drinks were priced reasonably, like $5 a beer, $8 for cocktails, and people were happy to pay because 1, open bar weddings are rare in our circle, and 2, they thought it was kind of fun. Okay. Long story short, between the money from the drinks and tips, we made about $2,000, which helped cover part of the catering bill. The issue is, word got out. A few of my aunts overheard someone talking about the secret bar and now my mom is livid. She says I lied to everyone, disrespected the family, and made a mockery of our values. My mother-in-law also called me manipulative and selfish. Sorry, I can't really talk. But honestly, most of our guests didn't even know what happened, and the ones who did loved it. We didn't force anyone to drink. We just gave them the option discreetly. Okay. My husband is kind of in the middle. He gets why I did it, but wishes I had told him beforehand. I didn't because I knew he'd get stressed and say no out of guilt. So am I for secretly selling alcohol at my dry wedding to offset the costs? They're saying that they did not keep the bartender's tips. We paid him well, kept all of his tips. Alrighty. Yeah, I don't know how I feel about this. Okay, so basically, I was kind of okay with it. I personally think the beer and cocktails are pricey because I am not a drinker. I don't like to drink. I don't like to get drunk around people. I don't really care for drunk people that much because I think they're silly, goofy, and sometimes more annoying. So I don't do that. So, I mean, personally, in my opinion, would I care? No. But crazy, they made $2,000. That's cool. Awesome. I don't know. I would feel bad taking money from my family. Wow. And then the fact that she said that he didn't even know at all. Like, and she knows that their parents are extremely conservative and their families are extremely conservative. Me coming from a conservative background myself, if somebody pulled a trickery like that to me without my knowledge, oh, I don't know how I would feel. It's like you're lying to your partner on the supposed to be best day of your lives. These people say that they were with them until they neglected to inform your spouse. If you both had agreed, then frankly I'd say your conservative family's opinions don't matter, but your spouse's does. Just yes. This person does say your life and your values are yours. Nobody has the right to tell you how you should live your life. You're a grown married woman. Grow a backbone and stop letting them try to control you. Your husband should do the same. It's not going to get any better when you buy a house or have children. If they don't like it, tough. Okay, yeah, that is fair. I mean, like, it shouldn't be that. People want to do something that they want to do. It doesn't matter. Like, at the end of the day, am I the one driving home drunk? No. They are. They're the ones risking others' lives, not me. So, I mean, whatever. Like, not saying everybody's driving drunk. Everybody get an Uber, obviously. But, no, that's... Don't lie. Don't lie. I hate lying. I am Honest Abe over here. Okay? Alrighty, well, anyways, that's gonna wrap up the video for today. I'm gonna say a big shout out to Mariah, who was my roommate. Right now I'm in the craft room and she has this lovely banner here that she bought. Mushrooms, I feel like I'm an enchanted forest. And shout out because she made this beautiful drawing here. Yeah, we get pretty crafty up here, so just let me know if you'd love to see a craft video because I'll do that. Anyways, thank you everybody for watching. I hate that AC. I'm shutting this off.